All right, Derek LeBlanc here with Top Main News here with Boyd Sharpe. Unfortunately, things did not go your way here tonight in ECC 16 against Andrew Quigley.
Yeah, they didn't go the way that I wanted completely, but 4 minutes and 10 seconds of it did.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. So far, like earlier on the fight, obviously you were doing very well there, but unfortunately he kind of caught. What was it? Kind of caught you like with the right hand originally, and then.
I'd have to watch the tape to know for sure, but when we got off the ground the last time, he hit me with a punch in the middle of the ring, and I went to throw back, and I realized, oh, I'm really, really gassed here because I've been doing a lot of work on the ground. And then he got my back to the cage, and I think he caught me with a jab because he was standing in front of me, and then something clipped me, and he was gone. And the next thing I knew, the second punch came and the lights went out.
Yeah. So obviously now, for people who don't know, you created the show Cubicle the Cage. Now this was part of the finale tonight. So how do you feel the product's going to be now? Obviously I know you and Steve were both competitors.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
and Rick Doyle too.
Rick Doyle as well. So unfortunately all three of you guys kind of lost tonight.
Yeah.
So how do you think it's going to feel for the end of the show? And does it take away a little bit now that people do know the ending and how everything finished up? Or?
I mean, if people want to go looking for spoilers when the show comes out, then yeah, maybe it'll be underwhelming for some people. But the journey was so incredibly tough. I mean, people sitting on their couches at home really do have no idea what it takes to do this. Even if they watch all the MMA they can get their hands on, they read the books, they do a little bit of training on the side. It's not the same as going through a 54-week training camp with a pro MMA team and then getting in there and doing it. So the fact that we lost is irrelevant. We've completed the journey, and that's what's important.
Now, going on now, how hard was it going into the weight cut now? You're 41 years old, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right. I'll be 42 in 2 weeks.
All right, well, first of all, we'll wish you a happy early birthday. By the time it goes up, it'll probably be posted by then. But how was it going into for the weight cut now? Obviously, with someone as an older age, it's usually harder for someone's metabolism to try and cut down this extra couple pounds, especially with someone like you who was fighting at 135. Yeah. So explain how the weight process and the weight cut was for you just going into it.
Well, I started this project, I was 167 pounds. And about halfway through, Peter put us through a completely hellish weight cut. I cut down to 145, I think, and it was the worst experience of my life. I felt like I was dying. And that was a great learning experience because I knew when real fight time came around, I wasn't going to do it that same way. I wasn't going to be reckless and have to cut all that water. So I worked with Ricky Goodall. He put me on an awesome nutrition plan that helped me eliminate most of the weight through diet, through biology, through chemistry. So I really only had the sauna off about 3 pounds on the last day. I put 9 pounds back on in the 6 hours after the weigh-in, and I felt fantastic today.
I know. Like I said, I'm not going to speak good him. I'm on Goodall's plan on myself, down 14 pounds. So.
Oh, nice, awesome.
Yeah, so definitely that was obviously a big help for you.
Yeah, it was. It totally was.
Now, unfortunately, originally tonight you were supposed to fight Robin Black, but unfortunately there was some sort. I believe it's a heart condition that prevented him from doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't ask what his medical issue was. All I knew was he had a medical issue that was going to prevent him from fighting, perhaps indefinitely. And he asked that we respect his privacy because it's a medical issue, and I respect that.
Yeah. Well, you did do a post on the site about it, so and then was it upsetting because obviously Robin would have been like a big name. Obviously, the big name just obviously would have done with the Fight Network and stuff like that.
For the sake of the television show, Robin would have been a much better opponent for me. But for my debut MMA fight, I think Robin Black would have been an awfully big first step because of his experience and because of his jiu-jitsu and because of everything that he knows about the sport. That would have been an exceedingly tough fight for me. I don't think I could have had the fight that I had against Andrew against Robin, so perhaps it was best that I didn't fight against him in my first fight.
Yeah, and like I said, talking to you at the weigh-ins yesterday, you had nothing but the utmost respect to say about Andrew, and you said, I think I remember you saying that if you could fight anyone for a debut, that you couldn't fight a better guy.
Absolutely. Andrew Quigley, I've met him several times. I trained with him a little tiny bit. He's a very, very serious martial artist. He's very, very young. One of the nicest guys you ever met. And I said to somebody earlier, I like losing to a guy that I think has a pretty bright future in the sport. I mean, tough kid. I pounded on him as hard as I possibly could for 4 minutes, and he was still able to have the poise to get up and knock me out. So, and he, I think, fractured my arm. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, you've been icing there a little bit during the interview as well.
Yeah, it's hurting like a mother.
No, so obviously now going through the whole journey, the question is, are you going to do it again? or maybe you got to wait for that for the show?
No, my wife and my kids deserve enough of my time that I don't think I have it in me to do this again. And I knew that at the start. This was a one and done for me. I will train. Team Titans welcomed me into their world, and I really do feel like I'm part of that family right now. And I'll be training there for as long as I'm able.
Okay, now before we finish up, any final thoughts, shout-outs that you want to give, sponsors, family, friends?
I definitely want to thank Ricky for his nutrition help. I want to thank Nova Physiotherapy and Robbie McDonald for keeping a 41-year-old going for this entire year of MMA training at Titans is near on a miracle, because I busted, broke, twisted, and strained pretty much everything I have in my body at some point in the past 54 months. And they kept me going. And most of all, I need to thank my family. I mean, they sacrificed so much to let me do this. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to repay them, but I'm sure as hell going to try.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, like I said, it's a shame that you only get the one fight, but hopefully you'll be able to stay somewhat in this business, maybe promoting or advertising, anything like that. So hopefully
I'll definitely be involved in some fashion of mixed martial arts, whether it's through Titans or ECC, trying to move things forward. And I mean, I tip my hat to not just Titans, but all of the MMA clubs in the Maritimes, because these guys are so dedicated, and they do this stuff for very, very, very little reward, just for their passion for the sport, and I applaud them all for that.
Exactly, and that's why we all come out to these shows, because
exactly.
we know what people go through this and how little money they are getting paid at starting out.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
All right, Boyd Sharpe. So again, unfortunately, not the best night for you, but still, great debut. Good job tonight. I said we look forward to seeing Cubicle Cage coming up. When's that going to be premiering?
It's going to be the show premieres on RadX Network in September 2013.
All right, awesome. We look forward to seeing the show, and like I said, best of luck with everything in the future. Enjoy yourself. Hopefully now, maybe after tonight, you can finally have a nice little cheat meal. If not, at least go home and spend some good time with the family tomorrow.
Thanks a lot, Derek.
All right,
thanks for the continued support.
Thank you very much. That's Boyd Sharpe. This is Derek Wong with Top MMA News.